now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, thanks for joining us. We're live streaming on our social media channels, on our apps, and our website. I like to remind everybody of that because you can download the Fox 12 Oregon app on your mobile device, on your Roku, on your Apple TV, on your Fire TV, all of those places. Great ways to watch all of our programming, actually, and to check out all the Fox 12 Now segments after they air. But now is the time where we have the one and only Mr. Eric Gordson from Around the House Northwest. Join us here. He's here every week with us to share some tips and tricks, things to help you out with your home or other great advice. And then, of course, we're going to get a preview of Around the House Northwest coming up. But Eric, how's it going?
Good, my friend. How you doing?
Doing great. Always good to have you on here. And this topic that you wanted to talk about is, I think, probably pretty relevant to a lot of people, especially coming up with next week.
You know, we got the holidays. We're smack dab in the middle of it. And so many people having family coming over to the house. That anxiety starts to build, you know. I don't know about you, but I got some family members that are a little judgmental from time to time that are like, oh, how do we solve that, right? I mean, let's be honest. It just happens. It's families. I love our families, but it's all good.
Yeah, like
but
when they come in and find like the one thing that's off or wrong. And
yeah, those people. And I don't let those people rule my life, but there's things you can do to really make it a little bit better. And it comes down to a couple things. One, my first tip, eliminate clutter. I don't care if you got to go hide it in a closet someplace, but having too much stuff can really make it feel disorganized. And if you're kind of that clutter person, you got a lot of stuff around, by cleaning it up, people will come in. It makes your house feel bigger anyway, and it's less to dust.
That's a great idea. Just spend a few minutes, spend some time, and do that, and declutter things. That's just good for your mental well-being too.
Absolutely it is. But really, if you want to start tackling projects, some of the stuff that's really good is go around and freshen up that coat of paint. You know what I mean? It's a Saturday project to go in and paint a room, and it's pretty inexpensive. You know, the one rule I say with paint, though, is go get good paint, because cheap paint will actually cost you more than good paint does. And people go, what do you mean? And I say, if you go out and buy a $25 gallon of paint, for instance, and you'll need 3 gallons of that to do the room, why don't you just go ahead and buy the $60 gallon and do the whole room for that instead of having to put 3 coats on it?
Yeah, you've already saved money and you have the better paint.
Yeah, and you don't have to do it 3 times. So that's the cool part, is getting the right paint for the project is good, but you can totally remake a room. You know, color is back right now. And there's so many people out there that maybe they bought their first house or whatever, and it's got the builder white just everywhere in it. It looks like an apartment, right?
Yeah.
So go around, throw some color around. Colors are big right now. And one little tip is just Google color of the year, and you'll see all the different paint companies with all the bright colors that are out. There's a little bit of a nod to the 60s and 70s and some of the bright new colors, but have some fun with color. And the cool thing is when you're tired of it, you can change it again without doing a remodel.
That's true. That is a nice, easy way to just change something up and give it a completely different feel. So it's bright colors are in.
Yeah, bright colors are way in. I mean, last year when I was down at Design and Construction Week, Kohler, for instance, which, you know, they're known for their plumbing fixtures, they had a whole wall where you could basically vote on all these new takes of all the pastel. They had an avocado green, they had an orange, they had a bright kind of, you know, flower yellow. I mean, they had all these different colors, and I think the avocado green one, a new twist of it, won. So it's all coming back again.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a really cool to just keep it, you know, fresh and as well, you know, changing it up and having something like that. So great advice.
And the other one is smells, really keeping the house clean. You know, if you walk into the house and people go, wow, you're a cat owner, or wow, you have pets, or what is that smell? Check the garbage, check that stuff. You know, if your garbage is under the sink, take a minute, wipe it all down around there, get it all cleaned up, and really chase down some of those smells. And it's also a good time to clean out that fridge as well. But just really making the house smell fresh. I don't recommend those plug-in, you know, air fresheners, because those aren't really good for your health. If you like vaping, you're just vaping a orange or yellow oil coming out of a machine. It's still not any better for you. So just be careful with those plug-in oil machines. They're not great.
Do you have a recommendation for something other than that? Like,
I actually do. It's just keeping things clean and keeping it wiped down. And then if you want to do some, like there's a lot of sprays out there that are not toxic that have like lavender oil or things like that, something more natural. Not that any of those things you don't want to be breathing, but a little bit can go a long way with some of those essential oils out there.
that's good to know. Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way. So yeah, more great things in inexpensive ways too to clean up the house
Yeah,
before people come over. I love it. Any other ones?
absolutely. Yeah, give that front door and that front entryway a really good clean down, including tile down there. If you can get that grout looking solid, if it's been a few years since you have cleaned it out, there's some easy ways to do that. We actually did a whole discussion about that on the show a few months ago. So that's on our YouTube where we have a step-by-step of how to do that. But really get that all dialed in. That first impression when people come in the door is a really big hit.
That's true. Another great point. Now I'm thinking like, oh, I need to do that myself. So, all good things, to figure out and easy. They don't take that much time to get done here. So plenty of time to do that.
Yeah. One other quick tip, two things to do. If you have that toilet that's always backing up because your uncle's coming over and doing something, that stuff happens. Maybe it's time to upgrade that toilet. If you've got one of those $100 toilets, maybe head out and get a nicer one like a Toto Drake or something like that. That's maybe $300, but you can take the plunger and throw it away. There's no way somebody's plugging that thing up.
Okay, that's also good to know. So those higher end ones, that's not going to be happening.
Yeah, they've just it's funny. Toilet technology is big, but if
Yeah.
you want to stop that from happening, they make them now that one, they're nearly impossible to plug up, and two, they've put coatings on them now that are almost self-cleaning, so you don't have to go in and clean the toilet as
Love
often,
that.
maybe once or twice a month.
That's great. Yeah, I love anything that can clean itself. Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, yeah, great advice. Any more tips? I mean, you've given a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot right there. There's just so many other things you can do out there, but really just cleanliness and keeping things dialed in, and just be careful not to put too many things down the garbage disposal. That's one more thing that tends to get bashed up during the holidays.
Totally, 100%. Well, some great advice there. So everybody can go back and watch this if you're watching this segment. This will be available everywhere. But let's talk about Around the House Northwest, which we've got the new episode. So what can we expect there?
We start out right with a DIY project, which is our Perform Like a Pro. And they've been hot over social media the last couple of years, but they're these wood acoustical panels that have like walnut or oak strips and then black behind them that kind of help take that. They look very kind of mid-century modern, but they also take some of the echo out of a room. So I take the side of where my staircase I've been rebuilding, and I take that whole wall and cover it with that. It's a real simple project you can do in a couple hours, and it looks like $1 million when you're done.
Is this part of that from this weekend?
It is. That's it right there.
So you cover that wall with that,
with
and
these panels,
and it really
absolutely
does suck up some of the sound and reduce that echo.
It does. It takes the echo out of the room a little bit, and that was, that's funny because it's the wall that the speakers from my entertainment center reflect off of. So it really changed how things go. But I basically took the trim off, and these panels are 12-inch wide panels, and we just started putting them on there. And I tell you what, it's a really easy way to go and pretty cost effective. They're a little bit more money because they're pieces of walnut, but in the scheme of things, they're pretty affordable for the value you get at the end.
That's pretty cool. I love that idea of taking that and I love figuring out how to change the sound of a room. So, and you can make it look good as well. So you don't even realize maybe that it's sound panels in there. That's
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, I love it.
And then we've also got a great piece that we did with John's Waterproofing about water in your basement. So they actually went in and did a whole system. So we kind of explore how they did that. That's another part of the show because, flooded basements right now are a thing here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, 100%. That is something that everybody's dealing with. And we talked about some of that stuff last week too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some tips. So go watch the Fox 12 Now episode with Eric from last week. You can get even more there. For that, but of course, coming up here for this episode of Around the House Northwest, that's great, getting the experts in there. Okay, anything else? I know there's so many things. I don't ever want to spoil the whole.
I don't want to give it all away, but we talk with Renee Reinhardt from. She's got a planning company that basically it's for planning that party. And what she does, and she's even got a outlet here in the Portland area, but what she does is she hires out a party host or a bartender or whatever you need for your holiday party, because it can be so overwhelming for the host. You know,
Yeah.
you have people over. At the end of the night, you go like, man, I didn't really get to talk to all the people I wanted to talk to because I was either letting people in the door, I was serving drinks, or I was cooking. They provide the people to assist you with that so you can actually be there and be part of the party instead of being the help of putting the party together.
That would be so nice. And I've had that same experience myself where it's like, I don't even remember, like, it's not really a party, you're just working,
Yeah.
making sure that everybody else is having a good time. So you can actually be a part of it. That's really cool. So they rent out bartenders and cooks and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, whatever you need for it, and relatively affordable. You're still hiring quality people, so but it's not something that's crazy. And they're out there to help you plan it. They'll help you put it together, as well as get you the right people for the job, which is really handy. I think that one's pretty cool.
That's really cool. And all that's on this week's episode of Around the House Northwest.
You got it. And then we've got about 5 or 6 more segments of stuff you'll have to tune in to catch.
I don't know how you film so many segments per each episode, but you do it somehow. And
I got to give it to Bradley. Bradley and I, just crank through it each week, and we both put our hours in. But I've got a killer team behind the scenes, and Ryan's out there helping us as well. But got to say thanks to those guys, because they're the ones that are doing just as heavy as pull as the rest of us. So
well, it's working out great. And
Thanks,
for everybody to know, as always, when and where and how can they watch?
Hey, no problem. So if you missed last week's show, don't worry. You can catch it tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus. And of course, all the back videos are on YouTube under the KPTV banner there. We've got our own playlist there. But if you want to catch the one we're just talking about, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus. And then it will replay at 6 p.m. on Sunday. So you can catch it then. If you're out doing stuff on Saturday, then of course, back to Friday again.
There it is. So lots of opportunities and a lot of segments too at the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel. So plenty of ones to check out there from past segments, both from Eric from Around the House Northwest and the Fox 12 Now segments as well. They're all on there, so you can go through, watch those, share them with people. If you think that one's of particular interest to somebody, feel free to share those. And if you have any questions or comments and you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, drop those into the comment section whenever you're watching, and maybe we can get those to Eric and get those answered. So
yeah, and also head over to the Fox 12 to the app, because you can actually sit there and submit a video question and possibly be in a future episode of the show, because I'd love to see if we could help you with that.
That is cool. I didn't even realize that. So people can go over there to the app, download the app, and submit a video question.
Yep, scroll down, go to the Around the House tab, go to the very bottom of that, and you'll see submit the question down there, and you can take a little video and submit it in there, and might be able to put you on the show.
There you go. So, all right, lots of opportunities to connect right there. And Eric, it's always great to have you here on the show. And for everybody watching, thanks for tuning in to Fox 12 Now. We really appreciate it. Lots of things to check out from our past segments. And if you have an idea for a segment for this show, you can always email fox12now@kptv.com and let me know what it is. Maybe we can make that happen, even if it's like a deeper dive with one of the reporters or a story that you think needs to be covered. Let us know. We'll see what we can do on that. But I think that's it for now. So, Eric, always good to see you. And
Thank you,
and for everybody else, thanks for joining in. We're going to sign off for now. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.